Welcome to On the Corner of Main Street, presented by Plaza Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas. Here is Plaza CEO Jonathan Jossel, Gary Vickery, and I'm your host, Lisa Melmed. Good morning. Welcome to On the Corner of Main Street. We are so excited for our guest today, so we are going to just get started with him. We are joined by Las Vegas local and star of the hit show Pawn Stars, Corey Harrison.
Hey, what's up, guys? I mean, Jonathan, I'm kind of like taking it in. I mean, you're kind of pulling that whole Lefty Rosenthal thing with your own show here. You know, like I'm kind of impressed, man.
This is episode like 40 something, and you
50, the big.
Oh, this is episode 50.
51.
And you are correct. You're like the first person to pick up on that. That's what I was. That's what I've been going for this whole time. My own Lefty show, and you're the first one to pick up, and I appreciate you joining us, Corey. It's nice to see you after all this time, and welcome back to Oscars.
Oh, thank you very much, man. It's always nice being here.
That was the last time I saw you, was us having drinks in here. That was a couple of years ago. Now, seems like everything's a couple of years ago. But welcome back.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, man. It seems like this city's gone back like almost 10 years.
Yeah, gone back and now coming back. It's like a roller coaster we're all on here.
Absolutely, man. I mean, we can talk about the pandemic and stuff all we want, but, you know, yeah. I know I took a 97% haircut in business. You guys took a 100% haircut.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear that, actually, because you were telling me on the phone the other day how you were able to sort of stay open by convincing people you were a financial institution.
I don't have to convince anybody I'm a fucking financial institution. It says right on my fucking license I'm a financial institution. I'm the first form of banking there ever is. You know, Pop Goes the Weasel is about a guy pawning his tools. I mean, I loan money for collateral. That's exactly what I am as a financial institution.
I agree with you.
I just have some stupid 18-year-old kid trying to tell me that I'm a tourist attraction and not a financial institution. And, you know, I mean, I'm going to win. I always do.
Did you actually have to shut down at any point?
Oh, I refused.
So you were open the whole pandemic?
I was open the whole pandemic. You know, Carolyn, you know, Oscars, you know, Vegas is still a small town.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to mess with people that have been here that long. I mean, no one even wanted this shit in the first place, right?
Right. So you were able to stay open. That's great. And you are a financial institution, so
100%.
The first purest form of it.
It's the world's second oldest profession, man. We paid for the first.
Okay, so you're born in Vegas. What was it like growing up here?
My grandparents lived at 1 Lone Mountain Road, and the first time I shot a gun was in their front yard. So I remember when the freeway stopped at Rainbow and it entered at Eastern. Mm-hmm. And I-15 was basically Las Vegas Boulevard.
Wow.
So, I mean, just the amount the city's grown.
What year was that? What year would you?
God,
I don't want to age you, but people can look you up pretty.
It was. I was born in '83. This is still the '80s. So
Okay.
I was still wearing Transformer underwear and stuff like that. So.
And then your family opened up.
They started in 1981. They came out. They opened up what's called a buy and sell store. Mm-hmm. Buy and sell store is very similar to a pawn shop, except they don't give loans. We don't loan. A buy and sell store just flat out buys. Pawn shops actually loan you money on collateral. You can come pick it up, pay interest, and get it back. Through you know, the good old boys back in the 60s, whatever, said that Las Vegas would never have over 250,000 people. And so they wrote a law, they're not going to give any more pawn licenses. My father was, you know, being the bookworm and nerd that he is, called the city statistician every day for about 3 years. And once the population got over 250,000, went down, applied for a pawn license. They hadn't given one since the 60s. And for about 40,000 in legal fees, he was able to get a pawn license where, you know, at that time they were selling for at least $500,000 million a piece. So that's how we ended up with ours. We were the last city pawn shop license issued in the city of Las Vegas.
You were the last one that's active now?
Now they have all these weird little cockamamie things where it's like a city lottery where, depending on the population growth, and it's like $50,000 a ticket, and I don't even know what they're trying to do anymore.
Okay, but do you remember back then, like how many? And I apologize because I say pawn, and with my accent it sounds like PORN. I'm talking pawn, PAWN. Do you remember how many pawn licenses there were when you guys got yours?
Well, I think there was probably about 60. Remember, they knew that they were going to shut down, so there was guys with multiples just like sitting there hanging behind the wall. And speaking of porn, I got my nephew Ryan here.
I was about to say, so we have your nephew here. Ryan, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ryan Sangster, and I am Corey Harrison's nephew.
Corey ordered you a Shirley Temple. There's your Tito's. Thank you, guys.
Thank
What's it like having Corey as an uncle?
Well, growing up, I never really had a father to really like look after me. So for the past 15 or so years of my life, it's always just been this guy. He's always just been there for me always.
Nice.
If I ever need a call while I'm at school, I call him. If I ever need money, I call him.
Those are good things.
And I got to say, I love playing the uncle role. I don't have kids. I mean, when he pisses me off, I just kick him out of my fucking house.
Much easier than kids.
Yeah.
So going back to what you were talking about with the porn licenses, back then, what was like I think reputations of pawn shops has changed over the years. What was?
I think probably the show changed the perception in a lot of ways, from that negative connotation of, coming in and selling your stuff to, people seeing the inside of a pawn shop probably the first time ever. Nationally.
There's a couple things I could say about that. Prior to our show, most people related pawn shops to Pulp Fiction. And quite frankly, we spent about 4 years getting vetted to do reality shows, from everybody from HBO to God knows how many, pilots and sizzle reels we did. One of the major things that we would do, or we had to stand by, is you're not going to put us in a negative light.
Yeah.
Call it what you do. Bad stuff happens at every single business you can find. Some idiot's going to come sell me some stolen stuff one day. Guess what? I report everything I buy to Homeland Security, Metro, every single police agency in the entire country. So you're probably going to get caught. And if they do pawn it, you've got a good chance of getting your stuff back. Beyond that, if you need quite frankly, if a single mom needs a $100 loan, she's not going to get it from a bank.
Right. It's not. Is it a loan or is it like consignment?
It's a loan. It's a loan. I hold it for 90 days. She pays interest on it. She pays me. She pays me a vig. She comes back. She picks up her jewelry, and on she goes with her life. If she doesn't pick it up, I eventually sell it, and I don't attack her credit. She doesn't pay for it forever and ever like she does for a payday loan, something like that. And it was really a simple form of banking. Well, I had a lot of people wanting us to do, the taxi cab confessions. There was that one show. All I could say is the guy had less gold than me on a different TV show. I wasn't gonna. I'm never gonna give him credit, but that's exactly what we refused to do.
Got it. Yeah. And how much? Because I think part of the issue is like right now you can't open a pawn shop in a casino due to, I guess, the connotation of people selling their stuff to gamble. There's the music video by the Killers where they're selling their stuff, or they're gambling their watches, and I think it's that kind of. I happen to be in that music video, but they're gambling their watch or for whatever it is. Does that really go on? Do you see a lot of that? Do you see people? Because all the casinos here advertise you guys as a tourist destination, but is there like a backhanded side of it? And just I don't believe there is, but I want you to speak to it. Go sell your stuff and come and gamble.
I don't care what you do with the money once I give it to you.
Right.
I'm not your holy father. I'm not in charge of what you do with your money when you get it. Hopefully if you're pawning your stuff, you're feeding your kids and you're doing what you need to do with it. If you want to pawn your stuff and gamble, who am I to say?
Right, but do you think that's why the Gaming Control Board doesn't allow pawn shops in the casinos? Like we wanted to open one up here.
Well, Jonathan, you can't just have all the vices in one building, man. You can't just control all. I don't know what you're trying to build here, but no, we can't just.
We wanted a strip club. We couldn't do it.
Yeah,
but is it a vice?
Well, you want to let the guy sell stuff, go to a strip club here, maybe open a dispensary too.
Dispensary would be good.
The non-stop of vices and stuff, and I'm supposed to fund it, man. There's got to be you got to at least walk around and get some thinking time in.
Okay, I think you're 100% right. So was there a noticeable difference in your business once the show came along?
No, not at all, man. Not at all. You know, I mean, not at all. No.
Is that the stupidest question ever asked?
I mean,
People were coming in to buy T-shirts and everything
They were
like that
always
long
lying.
before the show, right?
yeah, you know, before the show, you know, people just love gold and silver pawnbrokers. So, no, I mean, it was funny. I can give you a really odd story about it. It was a lot of work for the first 2 seasons, and we didn't see really any business pickup on it.
Okay.
And me and my wife at the time, it's a weird thing to say when you realize that you're famous. This is back when I would still go on a cruise for vacations.
Okay.
And me and my wife went on a cruise, and unfortunately, I became like the number one attraction. You know, I had people knocking on my door and
Oh
go,
my
"Hey,
gosh.
can you take a picture with my kid?" They're taking pictures of you everywhere you go. The cruise people are, and my wife goes down to buy them. Somebody bought all my pictures down there. And but on this vacation, I'm talking to her. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm just going to end the show thing. I don't see any benefit for it, and it's just a whole lot of extra work. And literally from the airport driving to the pawn shop, luggage still in the car, I plan on walking in, telling my father and the old man, this isn't working, guys. Let's just cut the cord. And I walk in, and the fire marshals, and they're shutting us down.
Oh no.
There's that amount of people in there,
Wow.
and I'm like, I'm okay. I'm not going to say anything. I had this whole speech written. I was about to say all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, we're going to ride this thing out for a while. And,
Right.
When
was that? 08?
Maybe I want to say 2010, something like that.
Okay.
And then 2011, we started beating WWE in ratings. So we actually became the number one show on cable, period, at one
Wow.
point.
And it wasn't just in the U.S. I mean, it's huge in England. When I was in England, it was on TV there.
It's in 150 countries. It's
Wow.
in 37 languages. At
Wow.
one point, it was the number one show in all of Latin America. Which is insane. Like I
You
still
should take more trips there.
Oh, I do. I mean, you know what? I still get giant frenzies there. I mean, me and my father went to Argentina for a press tour down there, and what was supposed to be a 1,200 person press conference, there ended up being about 14,000 people that showed up, and we're like driving in ghost vehicles, and there's a SWAT team there escorting us
gosh.
out. I'm like, oh wow, this is absolutely not what I expected.
Let's keep doing the show.
Yeah, we're gonna ride this thing out, man.
That's amazing. I mean, I think what your show has done for Vegas, for downtown Vegas, is similar to what Tony Hsieh and Fremont Street experience. The amount of people that have come down to downtown because of it. How many tourists do you get every day?
At one point, we were the number one non-gaming tourist attraction in in the state of Nevada. We were beating the Sign, and we were beating the Hoover Dam. And after a while, man, we've been doing it so long. Let's stop counting. It's
just a lot.
It's just every day is just kind of humdrum. Everything dies down a little bit. I think, right now everything's been weird for the past year or so.
Yeah.
But I think the slow day, it's about 4,500 people, 3,500
Wow.
people. We still, the funniest thing is when the show really first popped in the States and it hadn't made it all the way to England, Jonathan. We ended up in an English newspaper saying that this is right during the housing crash and everything like that. And times are so bad in Vegas. People are lining up outside of pawn shops, and my pawn shop was in a bunch of English newspapers saying how bad times are in Vegas. And little do you know, they're lining up to buy T-shirts.
Yeah. So I lived at Soho Lofts across the street from the pawn shop, and I just remember seeing those lines every day. And what Lisa said is true. I mean, you guys have had a big stake in downtown Las Vegas. Was that always the plan in terms of downtown? Could you have done this? You could have done this anywhere. Why did you choose downtown, or was it just where you happened to be?
When in '81 when we came down here, downtown was downtown. That's where you wanted to be.
That's true.
We had a small shop off Fremont Street. We had a spot right over off Oakey and Las Vegas Boulevard. And we always wanted to be on the Strip because my grandfather decided we had to be 24 hours no matter what. And, so Las Vegas Boulevard always mattered. And since we were in the city, most people don't know that downtown's in Las Vegas.
Right.
So, this is where we've always stayed. This is where we've always been.
Right. Yeah, I think it's had a huge impact in terms of creating awareness in downtown Las Vegas, bringing people downtown. And once people come from, whether it's the Strip or anywhere else, to see the pawn shop, you know they're going to go somewhere else and check it out. I guess that's why you built the Pawn Plaza subsequently.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, first of all, let's get something straight. My father wanted to build an automatic gun range where Pawn Plaza was. And I'm just, like I'm sitting there and I'm like, blue in the face screaming at him. I mean, first of all, you got like maybe 40 feet of usable square footage here, and then the rest is just getting bullets fired across it. Now I have a tourist attraction across the parking lot, and I don't need some idiot with an automatic weapon just busting out the door.
Yikes.
And so, Tony Hsieh, he, God rest his soul, but he did the container park over there, and I thought it was a really neat idea. And just to kind of go along with the theme, we did the Pawn Plaza thing, and I was like, well, just anything but a goddamn gun range, Dad. Just let's try this. And I mean, we could have done it out of sticks and glass and everything, but we decided to use the containers, make it a little bit different. But it's always worked. It's working out for us.
Yeah, no, it's always, again, it's just brings more to downtown Las Vegas, which is great. I mean, you guys, I really can't overstate how great it's been for downtown to have that kind of attention on the area. It's been a big deal.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I grew up down here. I never had a babysitter after school. I had to go to work.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if I was 9 years old or 12 years old. There was no mom came, picked me up from school. We had to go back to work, and I had to brush up cigarette butts and polish jewelry. And so I spent most of my childhood down here. And I mean, hell, I remember walking from the Greyhound station right here next to the plaza with my snowboard.
It's gone now.
Yeah,
it's gone now.
Just to get to Lee Canyon to go snowboarding during the winter. Wow. And this is when downtown was not a nice place to be.
Right.
And I'm all of 14 years old with a snowboard on my back, walking to the pawn shop to catch a ride home after going snowboarding.
You still like to hang out down here? I mean, obviously not the last 12 months.
You know what? I only hang out downtown. The strip is a strip, and I got nothing for love for those guys. But it's just that's Disneyland to me. Yeah. This is Vegas.
That's the new quote of the podcast. It's Disneyland for me. This is Vegas. That might be my new opening line.
I mean, what you guys are doing down here, and with everything going on downtown, this is what Vegas is supposed to be to me.
Right.
And this is coming from a guy, my entire arm's tattooed in Las Vegas. By the way, if you have the city of Las Vegas tattooed on your arm and you're not born here, fuck off. But it just, but quite frankly, I mean, this is Las Vegas. This is what we do. It's the town of tacky. I mean, look at the canopy up there. No other city has something that ridiculous, and we love it.
Absolutely. That's why we sit in here and tell stories.
One of the things with the show that I've noticed is they spend a lot of time when they're kind of doing the clips of Las Vegas. They don't spend a whole lot of time downtown. They mostly kind of focus on the Las Vegas Strip when they do like the clips and everything like that. We need a little bit more love.
The History Channel.
Well, you know what? When I get in charge of what they film, I'll make sure that I don't look like an asshole, and I'm always right every single time, and I'll correct that situation. But if I were in charge, it'd be a completely different show.
Yeah,
you kind of touched on it, but was there a moment when you guys sat down and said, "Let's do a show," or was it something that fell into your lap? Because you can't possibly imagine it was going to be this big.
Oh God, no. Listen, we were one of, at one point, I think 6 independent pawn shops, and then Cash America and Easy Corp were these massive publicly traded companies that were just huge that we had to set ourselves apart. So free publicity always got us business. So anytime anybody wanted us to be on TV, of course, news, anything like that, it was a free commercial.
Right.
And then somehow, some way, somebody approached us about doing a reality show, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And it wasn't like there was ever a particular point where it took off. It just, somebody hit us up to do a reality show, and then about 4 or 5 years later, we ended up with a reality show. It was almost, the TV industry is a small industry pretty much, and people start talking about stuff, and so one thing would fall through, and would kind of get our hearts broken or whatever, and then almost the next day somebody's calling up and wanting to do another thing and another thing and another thing, and finally we actually hit something. And the funniest part about it is, we threw like a family party kind of thing, family, friends, rented out a restaurant for the first episode. And me and my dad are sitting there, and about halfway through the first episode, I walk out, and I'm a smoker. You can hear my dad laughing, clearly tell he's a smoker. And I walk out, I start smoking a cigarette, and my dad comes in, what's wrong, son? I'm like, oh my God, no one's ever going to watch this shit. What a fucking waste of time.
Oh, no.
And little do I know about TV, because here I am 10 years later. I mean, we're about to have more episodes on TV than The Simpsons.
Wow. How many seasons has there been?
I think they say 16 or 17. I don't count seasons. It's weird. Season 1 has 13 episodes. Season 2 has 80.
And you're still filming.
So we're at about 640 episodes. We started filming again in September. We just signed another deal for another 35. The one thing that we're really, really lucky in is if you take a scripted show that you put on cable, you're looking at easily $1 million an episode. We're lucky enough to pull the same ratings because we have such a loyal fan base that that $1 million show gets, but it costs about $250,000 to make an episode of Pawn Stars. So I don't see us going anywhere anytime soon.
It's great.
We're with an Antiques Roadshow with tattoos. It's been on for 27 years.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be a collective decision if we ever quit doing the show.
You're in the process of filming now?
We start in August or September.
Okay. And is any of it scripted? Do they tell you to do some certain I know some friends that do this stuff, and some of it is a little forced, but you guys seem like you're totally...
So here's the thing. I'm on reality TV. If they handed me a script, I'm not on reality TV. So they can't give me a script, but I do have a director, and can you say it like this?
Right.
Can you say it a little bit more? So, your dad's pretty upset about this, but as far as the items go, those are legit. The items are legit. There may be a time here or there where... I'm sorry if you don't have any teeth, but you have a really cool item, and I can't just put you on TV. I might ask you if you have a buddy that will sell it for you.
Oh,
wow. There's just, if you got a giant face tattoo and you got to bring something in that's really cool, I might have, you have a buddy sell it or something like that. But the negotiations are always real. The items that we buy are real.
Wow. Has there ever been any items that you've kept for yourself?
My house is pawn shop motif. You think I buy art? No, honestly...
I'm still waiting for my invite over, then I can see it all.
No, it wasn't up until probably 5 years ago I bought my first new TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because everything comes from the...
So why'd you buy a new one?
They started just becoming disposable. I don't even take it really in the pawn shop anymore. Once you can buy a 42-inch flat screen TV for $200, what am I supposed to pawn it for? 6 months. I gotta hold it. It's 6 months later. Now it's old. It's worth what, $40? Yeah. What am I gonna? You're gonna buy it brand new. I could give you maybe $30 for it.
Is there anything in the industry that's part of the crazes, like the sports cards, for example? You guys don't get involved in that stuff, or do you?
I'll buy cow manure if I can make money off of it. It's just But I always look at bubbles. Right now there's a huge old Nintendo game bubble. Is what I'm calling it. People are grading old Nintendo 64 video games, stuff like that.
Those are pretty cool.
And there's a whole grading system and a company that does it. And I'm like, God, you guys don't... I've seen this happen with sports cards. I've seen it happen with Pokemon cards. I've seen it happen with Beanie Babies. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. And
didn't the guy walk out to fight Floyd Mayweather with the Pokemon card around his neck? You're shaking your head, Ryan. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was Logan Paul.
That's right. Yeah. He said it's worth $1 million.
$150,000, I think it was. Somewhere close to 400,000 after the fight.
Wow.
Yep, that's that guy.
That's a bubble. That's a bubble.
Literally. Where's the value? Where's the tangible value in it? And that's kind of where I always go with anything. I'm a gold and silver. I'm a commodities guy. I don't. the collectible stuff, it's cool for TV, but that's not really something I really work with quite a bit. A Rolex is always going to be worth money. A Pokemon watch is going to be what a Beanie Baby, a Princess Diana Beanie Baby used to be worth. We've all seen this happen 1,000 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anything that's made to be collected is not collectible. I'm sorry. That's just the way it actually works.
Is there anything that you're like waiting to come across that you haven't yet?
I had a guy come in one time with a Canadian $50 Maple Leafs, which are 1 ounces of gold, and he wanted to know if I bought Canadian money. So if that guy comes in again, I would really love to see him, because I gave him a solid $55 an ounce for every single one of those coins, and he had about 250 of them. So that guy is welcome in my shop anytime.
If you're listening, come back soon. Come back and visit us in Vegas. Well, Canada's not open yet. When Canada opens to us. So.
Are you involved in anything else happening in the city?
I've got my hands in a few fires. I've got a small motorcycle shop that, it's basically a place for me and my buddies to hang out. I'm opening up a boxing.
Is that by the way on Main Street behind Sonic Rodeo?
Yes.
Because the girl that I do Pilates with was telling me she saw you.
You do Pilates.
Remember when he called me and I told you that that I was in an uncomfortable position? I do have a bad back. It helps my back. But don't you have the place right behind that in the alleyway there?
Yeah, I have a place in the alley over there, and it's most of my bikes. I have a couple buddies that come by and work on them. It's more of a hobby thing. Anytime it's a hobby and you actually turn it into a real business.
Hold on, wait. Rich, could we just say that we do boxing instead of... Now he's made me feel awkward.
Well, you're more than welcome to walk across the street. I'm opening up a boxing gym over there.
Okay, I was doing boxing and you called.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
No, I'm joking. Okay, nice. I'll come hang out there next time when I get done with my Pilates.
It's funny. I'm doing the boxing gym, and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like my art piece, and I must have torn the place apart like 25 times.
Really?
It's taken me well over a year to open up a 900 square foot boxing gym. Ridiculous to the point where I tore all the bags down and had them reupholstered and vintage 1936 pigskin leather kind of stuff. Where
it's actually a great idea. There's not much of that. There's not enough of that downtown. We have Johnny Tacos, but other than that, we're kind of short on boxing gyms.
Yeah, and to me, like I said, it's almost like an art project. The funny thing is, I started doing it when about 5 days before the whole COVID-19 thing happened, and I decided I wasn't going to stop. So we'll see how the licensing and everything goes.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, you did have a little piece of a business in downtown that I was a partner with you in.
Yep.
We actually had Paul DeVitt. You remember Paul DeVitt? He was the original founder of Beauty Bar. It's good to see it all resolved now, but that was basically your same premise for what you're doing now, just to have a place for your friends to come hang out in East Fremont?
Well, I always wanted a bar, and my original partner, he's always been a mentor to me. Darren Feinstein, he's always been a mentor to me. Before him, I just learned how to do business through my dad, and Feinstein taught me how to do business with a sniper rifle, where my dad does it with a shotgun.
Okay, that's a great analogy.
That's kind of the difference between the two.
Darren's a great guy for anyone that doesn't know his family. Well, you speak as your mentor.
Yeah, he's definitely a mentor of mine, and it was really great opening up a bar with him because I basically had to do nothing.
Right.
The guy owned like 27 bars. I've never owned one. I mean, he had all the staff, he had everything, he had all the connections, and I pretty much just had to show up and drink for free and hang out.
Right.
And as all good things, it came to an end. I kind of jumped out with a golden parachute is the way I look at it.
Yeah. You did good to get out when you did.
Yeah. And Darren, he tried to do a nice thing for what used to be a really good group of people, or good family and good friends of mine. And, money changes people, man. And
didn't work out.
I had to just get out of the situation.
Yeah. Well said. Where is Darren at the moment, by the way? I doubt he's listening to our podcast, but if you ask, hey, Darren.
What's up, Darren? Darren has sequestered himself. I believe he's in some kind of rabbit hole. Don't know what he's doing, but it's obviously something big. And
his family still owns Sapphires? Or partners?
He still owns Sapphires. They're still partners with Sapphires. He still owns the Fat Bars. He's, the guy's one of the smartest, most ridiculously smart people I ever know. I mean, who the hell is a lawyer and a CPA? But he's in his little hidey hole right now. I'm sure he's going to pop up with some big, giant, brilliant idea, and
Soon.
hopefully get to be a part of it.
Very nice. Very nice.
What do you think the future of downtown and pawn stores is?
Oh, the future of Pawn Stars is what we're going to make it. I mean, I don't see the show ending anytime soon. We're all going to have to make a collective decision when we're going to be done with it. Downtown, I've got mixed feelings on East Fremont.
Really?
You can't be all things to all people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Me and Jonathan talked about it, and what did I tell you? I wanted to turn a Don't Tell Mama into.
Yeah, you had a good idea for it, but geez, that was a long time ago. And we had a few drinks.
Yeah.
You remember that you used that app that delivered shoes?
Yeah, I got a bunch of apps.
Zappos?
No.
Oh, Magic.
It was like a customer service. Yeah, it was like
Magic. Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But no, I mean, I think downtown just, I think they're trying to be all things to all people, and I think that it's not working out for them, and I think that they need to get like a little more of a niche.
You're speaking specifically East Fremont.
East Fremont, yeah. I think, I think they got to stop being so cliquey down there. I think the Tony Hsieh, the artsy kind of thing is kind of going the way of the dinosaur down there. I think they need to go more towards what the art district's doing on Main Street. I think they're doing pretty well down there, and I think they're not, maybe I'm an asshole for saying this. I don't think they're handcuffed like they are in East Fremont Street.
No, you're not. And a lot of people feel that shift. I mean, and it's great to see different areas popping up around downtown, frankly, just to have more options, because East Fremont was the only place to go back a few years back, so it's nice to have that. It's good to. Do you guys partner with any of the casinos as Pawn Stars?
Pawn Stars, you got to realize I own Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. I own Hoskamp LLC. Pawn Stars is owned by History Channel.
TV show, yeah.
And then there's a company called ITV that is contracted to film Pawn Stars by History. So
Got it. So Gold and Silver. Does Gold and Silver?
we don't really partner with that kind of stuff. I mean, we do our own things. We do appearances, stuff like that. But we don't partner with casinos regularly. We have a good relationship with Derek Stevens, with Circa and D and stuff like that. I don't mind you too much. You're always kind of you're always kind of that smug like British friend I have. Like if I ever need like a James Bond character to come hang
You're
out.
calling me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that compliment. Thank you so much. Thank you. What about slot machines? You guys still doing the slot machines?
I every once in a while, I hear somebody say that they played one not too long ago.
You don't know where they are.
I don't know where they are. I'm born and raised in Vegas. I grew up in a pawn shop, and I'm not going to say I don't gamble, but the whole slot machine to me thing has just never made any sense. It's like I hit a button. Did I win? No.
Did I hit the button again? Did I win?
There's no like real like human thought there. Like I can play blackjack all day long, but it's sitting there I might as well just tie a monkey to a chair and have him just slap a button, and that's what a slot machine is to me.
So Corey, with you got the boxing gym, you got the obviously the TV show, you got the motorcycle shop. What else do you see yourself getting into over the next 5 years or so?
I'm lucky enough to be in a position to where I can pick and choose. If it's fun, if it's something that's interesting, do I want to open up another bar? Maybe one day.
Okay.
But it's, at some point you just get tired of working, man. Like, there was a solid 8-9 years there where it was Monday through Friday, probably 14 hours a day. Leave on Friday night, fly to some random Indian casino in whatever fucking city, Oklahoma, do an appearance there, fly back Sunday night, Monday morning, go directly into work a 12-hour day filming Pawn Stars. And mind you, I still have to run a pawn shop during all of this.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm running a business during that time, plus filming a TV show in, whatever else I got going. And so for the past 6-8 months, I really haven't done anything. Like it's been kind of like we wrapped filming in January, and I just really haven't had the desire to really That's why it took me so long to get the boxing gym open.
Right.
I'm having more fun doing the construction on the boxing gym than I am actually trying to open it. It's just something to do, but like I don't have to like actually think about anything.
Right.
And just kind of just relax.
Does your dad still put in the hours?
According to him, he is the hardest working guy in the entire world. But I don't know how he does that from his ranch in Oregon with no internet or cell service or cell phone signal. But, if you ask him, man, the guy who just works constantly. I couldn't tell you. I mean, he must telekinesis or something like that. But.
Do you have any advice or career advice for your young nephew or for people starting out?
Well, for my nephew here, it's a very simple thing. We've got a very good deal. When he was in 7th grade, he was doing really poorly in public school here, and I came up with this brilliant idea to pull up some military schools on YouTube, and I was going to show him, like, hey, this is kind of just an empty threat here. I'm going to send you to military school if you don't straighten your ass out. And I'm showing him all these military schools, and lo and behold, I get a call the next day, and, Uncle, do you think I could really go there? I didn't know it was a $50,000 a year school. I'm looking at what a Harvard tuition is, and this is what this military school is. Wow. And like, what? So he called my bluff. Like, what am I supposed to say? Well, I was just, no, you can't. Like, now I have to send him. Kudos to him. I mean, the guy's he's made the hugest, best effort ever. They're actually naming a building after him from the school. He's nice. Straight A's ever since. He's not going to be a pawnbroker.
No?
He's not going to be a pawnbroker. There's no going into the family business. He's going to go to college. He's going to be an officer in the military. He's talking about flying planes in the Air Force.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
So your advice is call someone's bluff.
Well, don't bluff if you're gonna have to back it up if you're bluffing, man. That's the thing. But it couldn't have worked out better for me with him, and I'm really proud of him. It just, but quite simply, my thing is you're gonna open up a business, be prepared. You're going to work hard. It's going to suck. It's going to suck. It's going to work. It's going to suck. You're going to hate every single minute of it. And when you're looking at your employees that are making more money than you, and they all think you're the richest guy in the room, you're going to want to kill every single one of them. But typically, if you put your nose down and grind, it's going to happen eventually.
That's awesome. Well, listen, Corey, I know you got other shit you'd rather be doing, and I appreciate you joining us today. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your time. Thank you for and your family for everything you guys have done for downtown Las Vegas, because we always talk about downtown being a community and people helping each other, and without great businesses like your own one bringing so much attention down here, a lot of what we've all done wouldn't have happened.
Well, hey, man, today, you guys, anything I can do to help, you guys have... the renovations that are going on down here. I mean, I remember my grandparents had I don't know if you know this. My grandmother used to run we had a small jewelry shop upstairs here when Jackie Gahn owned it.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandmother used to run it.
Let's open it back up.
Didn't you hear the whole thing about me not trying to work as much anymore? But no, I mean, but just the work that the casinos owners have done down here to actually make it a more of a viable thing. Obviously there's still a lot of work to be done down here. There's a homeless situation and everything like that there's got to be something. There's got to be a way to fix it. Who knows how to do it? I'm not that guy. Right. But it's a lot of work for a lot of people to make something that when I was a kid, this was a scary, scary, scary spot to be in. And quite frankly, we're Tony Hsieh's used to be Tony Hsieh's bar, the big. The 2-story one. God, I'm forgetting the name.
Ice House?
No, 6th Street, Fremont.
The billiards, backdoor billiards one?
No, come on. 2nd story balcony.
Commonwealth.
The secret bourbon or secret
laundry room.
The laundry room.
My aunt and uncle used to own. Used to rent a space there as a buy and sell store.
Wow.
Yeah.
My aunt was actually shot and murdered in that place back when I was a child.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
So to see this area go from that to that's an underground speakeasy type place, I mean, it's phenomenal for somebody that's lived here their entire life.
Oh.
Well said. It's funny when we...
By the way, I didn't know the aunt. Don't really. It's just a thing. No. I'm not really close to her. It's not like I'm getting a sob story here, but just for this neighborhood to go from that to that, it's pretty amazing.
It's fun. It's interesting you say that, not funny, but when we owned that building, and when we took when we were building up the laundry room there was that window. What are they called? The windows that you pull down and
bank teller window, buy and sell.
the buy and sell windows. Exactly, they were still there.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Hey, scrape some DNA on it. You probably find my aunt.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you so much for
You guys, thanks a lot, guys. You guys have been awesome, man. I love everybody. You guys appreciate it. Jonathan, you're amazing. Yeah, you do a hell of a job here.
Thank you, Corey.
Love downtown. Take care, guys.
We'll be back again soon, but in the meantime, please rate, review, and subscribe. Tell your friends about On the Corner of Main Street, and of course, follow us on social. On Twitter and Instagram, it's @PlazaPod, and on Facebook, find us at Plaza Podcast. Or go right to the top and tweet Jonathan @JonathanJossel. We'll see you next time from right here on the corner of Main Street.